what it is. NetworkBruh in the building. Quick lab today. Nat Pool. Same topology as yesterday. I swear I gotta lay off of them that ice cream, man. Ice cream be calling me. It's like crack. Like poopy in the crack pipe. Anyway, Thursday night. Y'all know what it is. We typically scream. Yes, I said scream. Stream. Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Go ahead and drag and drop 2 routers to your topology here. We got a router A, just like this right here. That bad boy. So a router A right here, router B right here. I'm gonna go ahead and change my host names. Y'all know I'm using physical hardware and they're like labels, routers 1 through 6. So just to keep it consistent, I like to change all of this stuff to make it just like the way it is in the topology. He's not router 3, he's actually gonna be router, host name router B. While that's going, we're gonna give it some time for some people to tune in and stuff like that. Can I see this? We got here's your 2 cents in the building. Shout out to you. Welcome to my show, Cuzzo. NetworkBruh in the building. Appreciate you for tuning in. Oh, I know who that is. That's my cousin, man. All the way in St. Kitts over there. I'm like, well, here's your 2 cents. I want to appreciate you for tuning in, though. We're gonna give it some time for some people to tune in and stuff. See what we got going on in the network world out here. We already did the internet check. What else we got going on? Juniper Networks upgrades its Apstra intent-based networking software. So I guess that's their intent-based. Y'all know what intent-based networking is, right? You have a specific task you want done. It's like, what are your intentions? And you just pick the task you want, and it kind of like, you know, streamlines the process for you like that. So Juniper is releasing the latest version of Apstra intent-based networking software that includes new monitoring features and configuration templates, as well as better integration with VMware's NSX virtualization security platform. In January, Juniper bought Apstra and its Apstra operating system, which was developed from the start to support IBM features. So basically, they just upgraded their intent-based software. And the name of it is Apstra. Anybody know what Cisco's intent-based software is called? Pop quiz. Yeah, I know I'm a Cisco fanboy. While you guys, I guess we'll go ahead and get started early, man. We need to, obviously we got to drag and drop 2 routers here. Go ahead and cable them up just like this. I'm putting a serial cable. Mine's already cabled up. Configure a loopback, 2 loopbacks on router A, and then the physical serial interface. And then on router B, you only have 1 physical serial interface. We need to label it that. 10.0.0.2, right? And /30 subnet. So we'll go ahead and get started early tonight. We're going to wrap this up. This is the only lab we're going to do tonight. I'm already in global config mode. So, interface serial 000. Anybody got any questions or anything so far? I know we just got started and stuff. But y'all know, I know there's a lot of new people in here. And I like to bring everybody on, man. I don't care what level of knowledge you have with this stuff. I'm teaching everybody this stuff, right? So, we're going to shut that bad boy. That's 10.0.0.1 /30 subnet. Notice that it's still down, right? Why is that? It's still down because this side right here is down. Once we bring the other side up, it'll be up, right? So let's go ahead and configure those loopbacks right here. right? Y'all see these loopbacks right here, these guys? That should be real easy, right? Simple, easy homework we're doing here. Loopback 0. His IP address is 192.168.1.1. Subnet mask of /28, which is 240.240. And loopback 1, his IP address is 192.168.2.1/27, which is 224.224. Take a look at our work with show protocols. Y'all gotta give me a second here, man. Y'all gotta give me a second here. I'm not feeling sexy right now. 192.168.1.1/28 and 2.1/27. And y'all give me a second. We're gonna start with router B after this. All right, new me, new year. I just needed to put just a little cream on my face, man. I was washing my face and I was feeling dried up. I felt like I was drying up as I was talking to y'all. Gotta stay moisturized, gotta stay hydrated. Y'all know what it is. That's how you stay youthful, man. All right, so those interfaces are good. Let's go to router B. What are you guys using? Using GNS3, even G? Y'all let me know. Hopefully you guys are configuring this stuff along with me. This is the easy part right here. Serial 000. IP address of 192.168. I'm sorry. What am I thinking? 10.0.0.2. Subnet mask of /30. And in case you guys are wondering what the hell we doing, so we did all the IP addressing here, right? We're going to be doing a Nat Pool. Y'all remember what natting is, right? Network address translation. So basically, where's that book at? Y'all know this is the lab guide we typically get our labs from. 101 Labs, Cisco CCNA version 4. You get a copy of this from 101labs.net, or there's a link in the description box below. It is an affiliate link, so it'll take you to Amazon Prime once you get the link from there, or get the book from there. And it's an affiliate link, so I do get some commission if you get it from there. But anyways, the lab we are doing is, these are the challenge labs, right? There's, I think, like 15 challenge labs in this book. After the challenge labs, there's like 5 more bonus labs, or maybe 7 more bonus labs. I can't remember. After that, we just ran through this whole book. Yes, a whole 100, at least I did, 101 labs from this book. There was actually about 120 altogether. But I guess you could say we're at, I don't know, 105 so far. We're at episode number, what is this? Episode number 74. You know, some of these episodes we've done more than one lab, so you know that's why the episode count is low. So network address translation, right? I'm trying to figure out where the Nat Pool is going to be. So it says Nat is an important exam topic, so pretty sure it'll crop up. Blah 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 blah. We did the static, or we did the loopbacks and stuff like that. There's 3 tasks for this. We're halfway done through task 1, which was to configure those loopbacks and the serial interfaces. Then he said you should add a static default route on router B to send all traffic out the serial interface. So here's router B, right? That's router B right here. This guy right here. He said we want a static default route to go out this interface, right? So any unknown traffic that we have, we want it to come out of this interface. Egress, right? So any traffic that comes through this router, which obviously there's no traffic here, but this is just to explain it, right? We get some traffic out here, and then that comes into this router, and we don't know where the hell to send it. We're gonna send it out this interface. That's what the default route is. right? Static default route is. And I explained that yesterday. But, yeah, no, I like explaining stuff over and over again until you guys get it, until I get it. And that's how I learn stuff too, you know. So let's go ahead and create that static default route. We go to global config mode, and we know it's IP routes. And then I like to call it the quad 0 route, right? We don't know what the hell to do with it. Set it out this interface. Quad 0 is the subnet. I mean, quad 0, yeah, quad 0 is pretty much the subnet. And then it's also the subnet mask. And then what interface we're sending it out of? Serial 000. Your interfaces might be different. I put a 3 there. Fat finger squad. Press enter. Right? We look at our routing table with show IP route. We'll see it is located right there. Right? The S means static. Star means candidate default. And it says it's directly connected out of 000. So any unknown traffic is going to get sent out of that interface right there, right? Okay, so then they said they want us to test by pinging the loopbacks on router A. Check that you can ping all interfaces. So basically, from this router, they want us to make sure we can ping. We know that we can ping this to that. Because why? We're directly connected to it. I got a physical cable going from router A to router B. So theoretically, I should be able to ping it. But we got these virtual loopbacks, virtual interfaces that we should be able to ping as well. But he doesn't know about these networks. He don't know about 192.168.1.1, right? He don't know about 192.168.2.1, right? He don't have routes to them. See, remember I pulled up the routing table. All I know is about the 10 network. Where's the 10 network? This right here. He know about it because there's a physical cable between the two. He don't know about these two networks right here because he don't have routes to them. But I do have a default route because it says any other unknown traffic, send it out that interface. Once it gets sent out of that interface, it's going to land on this router right here, which is known as the next hop. And then that router knows where those networks are. And then that's how we'll be able to reach it, right? So let's go ahead and ping the other end first. Boop. We're going to ping from here to here first, and then we're going to ping from here to the loopbacks, that guy and that guy. So 3 pings we got to send, right? Pray to the network gods and ping 10.0.0.1. That worked. We're going to ping the other guy, ping 192.168.1.1. We got to reply, and then we got to do 2.1. Pray to the network gods. We got to reply. Our prayers have been answered. That's easy enough anyway, right? Static default route, that should be easy. Next, task 2. We only got 3 tasks, and we're going to wrap this up. Configure a Nat Pool on router A. This pool is 172.16.1.1 to 172.16.1.20. It should activate if any address from the 192.168.2.0 network goes out of the serial interface. Oh, it should activate if innovate. Let me read this again. It should activate if any address from the 192.168.2.0 network goes out of the serial interface. What the hell does that mean, right? Let me explain that to y'all. So we know what natting is, right? If not, I'll explain it to you. Nat stands for network address translation, right? We're going to create a Nat pool, and I guess we'll draw a pool if y'all want me to do that, right? Here's the Nat pool for y'all, right? And basically natting is a way to translate addresses. Define the definition with the definition, right? So we have public IP addresses and private IP addresses. Obviously, on the private side of the network, that's where the private IP addresses are, right? 192.168 and 10.0, they just did that. Like, these are private IP addresses. We know that already. But for this topology, we're going to say all the private IP addresses are on this side of the network of router A, right? Private, right? The problem with private IP addresses is that they're not routable on the internet. You can't use 192.168 or 172 blah, blah, blah. You can't use those IP addresses on the internet. So once you get out here, you can't use those IP addresses. They're not routable, right? So what we got to do is we got to translate the private IP addresses to what? You guessed it, a public IP address. How do we do that? We do that with natting, NAT, network address translation, right? So we're going to create this NAT pool, right? And this pool is going to have a pool of public IP addresses that we can choose from. So once he gets out of that interface right here, he's going to go to the pool, right? He's going to put on his swimsuit, go to the NAT pool, and pick an IP address that's publicly used, that you can use on the internet to mask himself, and then be able to use it on the internet and go to wherever he need to go to, google.com, burgerking.com, homedepot.com, whatever the fuck.com. But he could use that public IP address and route to wherever he need to route to. Now, there's different ways we can use NAT, right? There's static NAT, where we map one IP address to one IP address. The problem with that is it's not scalable. So we can quickly run out. It defeats the purpose of NATing, because we map, like, let's say we map 192.168.1.1 to another IP address, like, say, I don't know, 10.0.0.5 or whatever, right? And it will map this address number 2 to address number 2, address number 3 to this is called one-to-one mapping, right? Because this address maps to that one, this one maps to that one, this one maps to that one. But again, it's not scalable, because it's like, there's no point in doing that. They created NAT because we were running out of IP addresses. If we do it this way, we're gonna be running out of IP addresses still. So that's why they came up with static NAT and also port address translations, which we'll probably discuss in the next lab. But the difference with that's static NAT, right? Now we're gonna do, what we're doing is creating a NAT pool. So we'll have, everybody has their own unique private IP address, right? So we'll have 1.1, and then maybe say 1.2 or 1.3, et cetera, right? And then once they get out here, they're gonna pick from a pool of IP addresses and then be able to get out that way, right? That one's a little bit better, but it's still not as scalable as, say, port address translation, or sometimes they call it natting with overload. We'll discuss that one tomorrow. So y'all let me know if I explain that clearly, or if there's any questions or anything like that. But that is what the basic premise or purpose of network address translation, because private IP addresses, you can't use them on the internet. So we got to put on our swimsuit and grab an address from the NAT pool and then go from there. But there's different ways of natting. So Professor Black Ops in the building. Let me give a couple shout outs here. We got SLP KEJ, my man NetworkBruh, back at it again. You know what it is, man. We do this Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But we're going to be labbing all weekend, man. You know, you need to make a shirt that pays tribute to Pray to the Network Gods with prayer hands. Man, you know, that's a good idea. I'm going to do that, man, because that's one of I have a couple sayings, you know. We got Fat Finger Squad. Every time I mess up, you know, I said I want to put that as a t-shirt first. And I'll probably put my logo, you know, after we get a couple, you know, more subscribers, more people watching and joining us and stuff like that. We got Professor Black Ops in the building. Appreciate you for tuning in. Y'all make sure, if y'all like his cybersecurity stuff, y'all check out his channel. How much time you spend a day studying and labbing? That's a real good question, man. I don't spend that much time as you might think. I used to spend more time than this, but lately I've been labbing and studying when I'm streaming, because I think you guys make it fun, and for me to explain it to you guys, they say you kind of how do we say, you have a better understanding of a topic when you have to teach it to somebody. You know, y'all know I just kind of like explain it in layman's terms for other people to understand, and I guess it's working, because a lot of people comment, you know, on my channels and let me know, hey man, like, your videos help me out and I passed the exam because of you and stuff like that. So I guess I'm doing a good job, right? So but I would say I spend at least an hour to hour and a half of labbing and stuff like that. Most of it has lately been what y'all see when I'm doing these live labs, you know. He said facts on the shirts. Yeah, that's so true, man. I feel like that's a nerdy shirt you could kind of get away with wearing. Yeah, man. I think I'm gonna do some t-shirts, but you know, I'm just getting. I guess I'm just waiting for a larger audience or whatever. Speaking of gifts and stuff like that, giveaways, I finally got a hold of the marketing manager for Boston NetSim, and guess what, y'all? I want to wait till I give you guys a surprise and stuff like that, but they gave me a whole bunch of stuff that I'm gonna start giving away, man. So when the milestones I'm waiting on is, first one, I want to wait till we get about to 5,000 subscribers, and I'm gonna do a really good giveaway, and I think that'll be around the time that I'm gonna be studying for the CCNP. So I'm gonna if you guys can get some more people to join us It creates a better learning environment because y'all know, like, I don't know everything. Y'all know that. I do have a CCNA and stuff like that, but I'm working on my CCNP, so I teach you guys everything I know at my level, and I'm also getting a lot of help from you guys in the chat room whenever I get stuck, right? I look over and I'm like, oh yeah, that's how you do it. And then, you know, and go from there. But I am going to be doing some some giveaways. If you guys can spread the word, you know, share it on Instagram, share it on Twitter, let them know that I make this stuff fun. And I'm just trying, like I said, I'm just trying to get more people to watch and stuff like that. We're going to be, once we wrap up this book right here, we're going to move on to, yes, this is the CCNA version of this, but there's also a CCNP version of this book. There's also, obviously, the CCNP version of Boson NetSim. So guess what? I'm going to be giving that stuff away. They finally got a hold of me. The guy was just like, man, I'm sorry, I dropped the ball. There was another dude, I guess, that I was communicating with. He don't work for Boson NetSim anymore. And I finally reached out to them again. And I looked at the thread. I've been in contact with these people since like 2019. Like, hey, look, man, I have a little small following. You know, I want to do some giveaways and stuff like that. And at the time, I had I think I just reached 1,000 subscribers. Then I sent another email like a year or two later, like, hey, I got like 2,000 subscribers, and I kept going and going, and then now I'm nearing 5,000 subs, and I'm just like, hey, man, like, I can give some of this stuff away, and it would really help with my channel, and obviously it's gonna build your brand as well. They don't need me, but you know, it just really helps. And I love Boson NetSim's products. I used it for the CCNA and stuff like that, so I'm gonna be doing some giveaways. If you guys help spread the word, subscribe to this channel and stuff like that, hit that like button. That helps with the YouTube algorithm and stuff like that. And y'all know what it is, man. Continue watching stuff. So let's move on with this. So I explained what Nat Pool is, right? Natting is, and the purpose of natting. We need to do task number, what was that? And if you're just following along, in the book, we are on page number, we did static nat. It's Nat Pool. Page number 488, challenge lab number 5. So I hope you guys are following along and actually doing this. So we got to configure the Nat Pool. And it says the pool is from 172.16.1.1 to 172.16.1.20 on router A. So I got to go to router A. This guy right here. So I'm going to go to router A. I know he says router 1 there, but he's actually router A. See, I changed the name. All right, go to global config mode. And to create the pool, they all start with IP NAT, right? NAD. Who used to say that? But Beavis and Butthead? Go, NADs, go, NADs. IP NAT, and then source, and then I believe it's inside. No, I got a question mark through that. Static. So, but we're not going to do static. We're going to do list, because this is actually how you create the pool. It's kind of like, no, I'm sorry. I take that back. You do static, and then it is, where is the pool? Where is the pool? I think you do, if I remember correctly, source local IP. Now this one I can't remember. What we're going to do is we're going to create a pool, a range of what it said, 172.16.1.1 through 172.16.1.2. So basically this is how it's going to work, right? I said we're going to create a NAT pool right here. NAT pool. And we said it's going to do blue like that. Right, this is the pool. We'll even give him a jacuzzi right here. That's the pool. So now when we send out traffic right, let's say from this network right here, right, and it's using a private IP address. When he exits out of this interface, he's gonna pick an address from this NAT pool right here before actually going out to the internet. So it's gonna like change. It's gonna translate this address to an address that he picked from this NAT pool and then exit out of that interface. Why do we do that? Because we're going from a private IP address to a public IP address. He's just picking from the pool of IP addresses that is a public one, and then he exits out of that interface. That is how NAT pool works. Now, if I could remember how the hell the shit to configure the shit, then I could actually teach it there, right? So if it's IP NAT source, now there is a solution guide in case we get stuck here. That's what I love about this book too. I just can't remember. How do you do the pool? I think let me do this. IP NAT. It's definitely source. Oh, there it is right there. Pool. See, I put source too early. So to define the pool of addresses. So it's IP NAT pool. And then we got to name the pool here, right? Also, we got to create an access control list. Now that I think about this. Now that I think about this, we got to create an access control list. All right, so watch. Pool, right? After you do pool, it says here, what's the name of the pool? We're going to call it, I don't know, Nat Pool, Nat hyphen Pool 1, right? Question mark. And then what is the start IP address? He already gave it to us, right? He said 172.16.1.1. Easy enough, right? 172.16.1.1. That's what I like about the question mark. Help, the context sensitive help too. It kind of helps you kind of remember to notice. Back here I got kind of lost. And then I got back to lecturing again because I forgot how to fuck to configure the shit. Then I used the question mark and was able to get it. But anyways, so that's the start pool. Now we got to do the end address, right? 172.16.1.20, trying to front over here for the damn internet. So this right here is going to be our range of addresses that we can pull from, right? And then question mark here. Now you can do the subnet mask or the prefix length. In this case, we'll do the network mask. Did he say? Did he give us a mask? No, he didn't. He didn't. So we can just pick one. We'll just do /24, I guess. It should activate if any address from the 192.168.2.0 network goes out of the serial interface. So I think I'm doing this wrong. We need to pick the source and then create the pool. That's what we got to do here. Because if I do network mask and just say, let's say net mask 24, right? Actually, let's do this. Watch this. Network mask, and then the network mask, which is 255.255.255.0, right? See, now I can't say what's the source from, so I have to define the source. So I did do the pool. Let's go back. I don't think that's how you got to do it, and I don't want to resort to the solution guide just yet, right? So we need to make sure, because it says here, activate if any address from the 192.168.2.0 goes out of the serial interface. You can add a second IP address to the loopback 0 interface to test another address from the pool if you wish. That's a little confusing there, and I don't want to do that. So let's do this. IPNAT, let's see. Can you do the source and then the pool? That's my question. The source address, we said, is going to be 192.168.2.0, right? But if we do source access list, I think that's what you got to do. You got to create an access list and then do that. Let's do that. Let's do that. And then I will create an access list, and I'm going to call it ACL1, right? The interface for the global address, and then the name of the pool. That's what I think we're going to do. Specify the source for the global address. Loopback 0 in this case. And then could you do, say, loopback 0 interface? Can you do a loopback? Could you do it from a loopback? Yes, you can. So loopback 0. And then can you create the pool? No, you can't. This is a really tough one. This is why they call it the challenge labs. You see, this is a tricky one. Let's see here. Damn, I missed up a bunch of stuff. My bad, y'all. It said more Cisco. CCNP live stream should be. Yeah, they should be, man. Call maybe a hint. That's not how you create a pool. IP Nat Pool. Yes, the net mask you use doesn't matter. It's just a sanity check. Okay, so yes, it is Nat Pool, but how are we going to, and which is what I was going to do earlier, how are we going to specify the that it's coming from loopback 0 though? That's my question for y'all. Right? So IP Nat Pool, and then which was what we was going to do? We was going to say Nat hyphen Pool 1, which is what I was going to do. And then the range. So that's going to be the Nat Pool. But then how do we specify, like, this is going to be coming from loopback 0? That's my question for y'all. So I'll create the pool, like you were saying. start IP address was 172.16.1.1. End address was 172.16.1.20. Net mask, he said, what he said about net mask doesn't matter. It's the same thing. You don't do that in the pool. Oh, you don't do that in the pool. Interesting. So then, how are we? So because okay, so we create the Nat Pool like this right here, right? But then it said here, this is the tricky part right here, because I don't remember doing anything like that. It should activate if any address from the 192.168.2.0. So it was this interface. It should activate if any address from that network goes out of the serial interface. So not this one, but that network. That's when it should activate. That's my question for y'all. So that's going to be the pool. You said the network mask don't matter, so I'll just do net mask and then say /2024. We'll do that. We'll do that. Do I need to create an access control list to do this? Not add route, not type. Oh, type? No. Rotary? No. That ain't, no. That don't sound familiar. I'll just do that. I'll just do that. So that is the Nat Pool. That is my Nat Pool. Show IP Nat. Translations. NVI. Statistics. There's no translations yet because we haven't sent any traffic yet. Statistics. None yet because we haven't sent any traffic yet. So now that we've done that, how do we make it activate when it's coming from loopback 1? That's what we need to do now. You said the CCP should be you just waiting to see me like my brain spin over there once we get to that level of stuff. The only thing that cares about the source is the translation object. The pool just specifies a range of pool translation address. He's combining multiple steps into one. He's specifying the requirements for the pool and for the translation in one. Okay. All right, I hear you there, but so you're saying that command, that translation that I did right there, this right here, should be enough, is what you're saying. Is that what you're telling me? So show run, I'll show you real quick what I did, right? Include, let's say, include pool, right? You're saying this NAT statement alone should be enough to create the pool, but how are we specifying that loopback 1 is going to use this? Just loopback 1 is when it activates. Because after that, he says, let me see. Yeah, it says it should activate. Oh, well, he does. So that's pretty much it then. It should activate if any address from the 192.168.2.0/27 network goes out of the serial interface. And then he says you check your configurations with show commands and pings sourced from 192.168.1.1. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it then, right? He said, oh, okay. So yes, we do got to do that. All right, I see what you're saying. There's one more NAT statement I needed to do, which was the IP, which is what Kelvin said. Y'all check out Kelvin, what he said there. That is not a translation. So that is not a translation. You're right. This is the NAT pool. Now I got to do the translation part. So which is what he was saying. IP NAT inside source. So I don't need to create an access control list then? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I do need to create an access control list, don't I? Because it's not static map. List. And then I'll create one. Let's say ACL-pool 1. Name of the pool. Oops, pool. And then the name of the pool, which was Nat Pool 1. See? This is, oh man. This is why I like these challenge labs, man. Like, because we've done a couple Nat labs, and that was just like several weeks ago, and I already feel like I forgot about that stuff. So this ACL is going to pull from Nat Pool 1. Does that look good to you guys right there? Because I need to create I think I need to create an access control list as well, if I remember correctly. And I'll create an ACL pool. No, not ACL pool 1. I'll say ACL 1. I'll just call it that. Or NAT ACL 1. Let's do that. Let's do that. NAT hyphen ACL 1. No, I'll just call it ACL 1. My bad. Let's just do that. Does that look good to you guys? And then I'm gonna have to create an ACL, and then that ACL is gonna say, y'all let me know. Let's see what he did. Yep, that's exactly what he did. He created an ACL. So yes, I was right. And it's got to be from the 2.0. Permit that. All right. So I'll do that. Go to global config mode. We're going to say, we are in global config mode, IP access list. And I'm going to call it ACL1 extended. Now let's do standard. Standard. And then call it hyphen or ACL -1. Is that what I said it was going to be named? Yes, ACL1. No, just no dash. ACL1. Like that, right? Because this is going to be the access control list I'm going to create. And then I'm going to say with this to permit anybody from this network. So permit IP. And then what's the source address? Hold up. What's he translating for? Permit IP. Oh, you got to do the address here. Permit and then the address. You don't do IP. 192.168.2.0. Wildcard mask of /27, which is 000 dot. What's /27? So 255 minus 224, right? 255 minus 224. So .31, like that. That's the wildcard mask. And I guess we could log matches. We'll do that. That look good so far? Kelvin and Fat Finger Squad? Y'all let me know, because damn, I just gotta remember with static with Nat pools, you have to also create the ACL. And I also forgot that you gotta do two statements for natting. You gotta do the pool, then you also have to do that inside source, is what Kevin was mentioning. That kind of helped jog my memory there. And I think that should be good for the access controller. Show IP. And we also have to apply it to this serial interface as well. So I keep forgetting that too. That's another thing I keep forgetting. Once you create the ACL, you have to apply it on the interface. So show IP access list. And that should permit that network. But then this access control list is going to deny everything else. So anything that uses this IP address is probably should fail, right? Am I correct in saying that? Yeah, it's going to fail once any kind of traffic comes from that network. Let's see. Did he do anything extra to permit that interface? Nope, he didn't. He did not. So let's do that. I think that should be good enough. We just need to apply the ACL. Go to the serial interface. Interface serial 000. IP access group. And the name of it was ACL1. We're going to apply that outbound. Yes, outbound. Right, because this ACL is going to be this is an outbound ACL, right? So this traffic right here, ACL. So if it's going this way, that means it's outbound, right? Y'all with me so far? So it's outbound traffic is how we're applying that ACL. He said, yo, what you using to lab? I want to follow. Phase 114, man. Appreciate you for tuning in. I am using physical hardware. So I have two Cisco 1841 routers. Yeah, curious what software is being used. Yeah, not really software. I guess in a sense it is software, Cisco iOS, but I'm using two physical routers, and I have them connected to my terminal server right here. So this guy right over here, that is just a server that it's basically another router, and it has what's called an octal cable. So it's connected, it has basically 8 cables, right, like an octopus, and they plug up to the console ports of 8 different routers. Actually 6 routers and 2 switches, because I also have several other devices, but this terminal server right here is actually a router as well. So it's a 2821 router, and it has console cables that are they physically console up to these other devices. So That is a good question. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. So we created that ACL. We got it there. What else we needed to do? Let's go ahead and test it, I guess. What he said here: check your configurations with show commands and pings sourced from 192.168.1.1 when you have a debug IP packet running on router B. So he wants us to go to router B, debug IP packets. So debug IP packet. That's going to turn on debugging. So any kind of traffic that's going to be coming through here and there, we're going to be logging everything that comes to it, right? So you'll kind of see what's going on over there. So let's go to router A. Check our Nat Pool with what show IP, Nat. What you could do, translations. You can't do no translations because there's nothing that came across yet. We could do statistics, but I don't think we'll have any statistics. Yes, we do. Good to go. Okay, so here's our ACL. Here's the network mask. Here's the start address of the pool. So once we exit out of that interface, we're gonna pull from that pool, right? And this is the ending address. And then what he said he wanted us to do. Pings sourced from 192.168. So when we send a ping, source it from this loopback address. Send it out of there, from there, and see what happens, right? I think, just by looking at this, I think that ACL is going to block that traffic because we created an ACL that's allowing only stuff from the 2.0 network. So from here, that should be allowed. That's what I'm thinking, right? What did he do? Yeah, he permitted from the 2.0 network is what he did. That's exactly what he did. Yep, same network mask or wildcard mask and everything. Obviously, he named his ACL differently. That is the pool range. So let's go ahead and try that then. Ping from source 192.168 from loopback 0, basically. So I'll try to do that. I'm going to go from here to here. And ping and see what happens when we source it from this address, right? Let me see. He said, thanks, bro. Thanks. All right, yeah, appreciate that. This is Challenge Lab 5, page 488. That is correct, guys. And in case you're just tuning in, this is the lab guide we use. 101 Labs Cisco CCNA version 4. You can get a copy of this from 101labs.net. There's a link in the description box of this video. It is an affiliate link, so I do get commission if you get it from there. But like I said, we're wrapping up this book. We're going to be moving on to the CCNP topics. Like I said, a lot more complex topics, more devices, route redistribution. We're going to be working with BGP, more natting, probably like a little bit more, just more EIGRP. In the words of Kevin Tran over there, more Cisco. It's going to be a lot harder than this. We playing with two little routers right here with just a simple network address translation. So we're going to do ping, 10.0.0.2 source interface of, you just got to do source, loopback 0. Let's see what happens. It went across. I thought that ACL would have blocked it, but whatever. Let's check the router 3 or router B and see what happened. So he got those pings, but it was sourced from 192.168.1.1. Oh, that's why the ACL didn't block it, because we do have a pool. It just didn't change the source address. So his source address is still 192.168.1.1, which is this right here. Destination 10.0.0.2. That's what? This right here. So that was the source, and that was the destination, right? And then, obviously, when it came across, the source is 10.0.0.2. This became the source, and then that became the destination, right? Because remember, when you send a ping, it goes like this, and then it comes back around, right? Bidirectional connectivity. Sometimes they even call the reply a pong. Get it? Ping, pong. I bet y'all didn't know that. That's a fun fact for y'all. So the echo request is called a ping. The reply is called a pong. I bet y'all didn't know that. But let's go to do the same thing, but we're gonna source it from loopback 1, right? And see what happens with the source and destination. See if we get some translations, etc., etc., etc. Ping 10.0.0.2, but source it from loopback 1. We got we sent 5 packets, 5 replies. And let's check out what we got here. Source is actually 192.168.2.1. That don't look right. That don't look right. This should have been changed to what we created from the Nat Pool. It should have said 172 something. So something did not work. Even though like the ping did go across, but we should have this was the source, and then the destination was 10.0.0.0.2. Right? That is all correct. But what we wanted to do was change the source address to be 172 something, right? From the Nat Pool. So that don't look right. Let's see what he put in the book though. Let's see what he put in the book. And the it says do an extended ping sourced from 192.168.2.1. That's what we should have done, and that's what we did, right? We did it from loopback 1. We did it from loopback 1. Then he says, do another one sourced from 192.168.2.2. Also, if you wish, but be quick to avoid the NAT entry timing out. So, if we do a show IP NAT translations, let's see if there's any kind of translations. Which there probably isn't, because I didn't see it in the on the debugs over there, right? Show IP NAT translations. There was none. So, something did not work. Let's see. What did we do wrong here? Let's take a look at our running config. I know I always tell y'all don't use show run, but we need to look at everything and see what we did wrong here. Here's our access control list. 192.168.2.0, which is this right here. And then the access control list was applied to 0.0.0.0, wasn't it? Let's see. Where's that access control list? The access control list name was ACL1. ACL1. Was it applied to the serial interface? Let's check that. And where's the serial interface? ACL1, outbound, right there. So it was applied. What else can we check? Any suggestions? What else can we check? Why didn't that get sourced from 192 and it did not translate? Let me see what he got in the book. Let's see what he put in the challenge and in the see try the same thing again with second address if you wish. What did he do here? When the access list permits 192.168.2.0, and that's what I did, right? Where's my ACL? Yep, 192.168.2.0. And I also added the log IPNAT, that is the ACL right there. Yep. Pool is Nat hyphen pool 1, right? Nat hyphen pool 1. Let's see if that's correct. Yes, it is. That's the pool right there. Nat hyphen pool 1. So that is correct. Y'all see anything wrong with my NAT statements or my pool? 172.16.1.1, 172.16.1.20. We applied the pool, the ACL to the serial interface outbound. It shouldn't have been inbound, right? Right there. ACL1 outbound. Does anybody see anything wrong with my configuration? This is the final task here. But it is not working as intended. Let's do show. Let's take a look. Did our access control list actually get any hits? Show access lists. There's no matches there. There is no match. 192.168.2.0 wildcard bits. Is that 192.168.2.0 wildcard bits? Is that the network address? Let me see. It is. IP Nat Pool, and then the name of the pool. He named it. He named his pool Internet. Simple enough. It all looks correct to me, man. Does anybody see what I did differently? We did it. Yeah, I did an extended ping. Let's do that. Let's try that ping again. But yeah, we did it from loopback 0. and then loopback 1. Those loopbacks, are those loopbacks correct? Let's see. Loopback 0 is 192.168.1.1 / 28. And the other one's 192.168.2.1 / 27. That's correct. And then when I changed those sources, I did loopback 0. Then I did it from loopback 1. Show IP NAT translations. There's no translations there. We should have at least some translations right there. And then when we do it, when you go to the other address, you should see the source change to something from the Nat Pool, which was 172 something, right? Something from this address range right here. Right over here. That should be the source. So something we did wrong here. At least I did. And I hope you guys followed along and did it yourselves as well. So that way, maybe there's something that I did. Where's the other one? Oh, Jesus. Whatever. Yeah, we pretty much wrapped up this lab, but I don't see what I did wrong here. Let's just try to ping by itself and then change all of that. Let's try that. I think it's gonna do the same thing. Did you do ping by itself right there? And say protocols IP, right? Target IP address was 10.0.0.2. Repeat count, let's say we'll do 5. Same size. Timeout is that. Extended commands, none. Sweep range, none. How do you change the source? You can't change the source from there? I thought you could change the source address from this. When you do ping by itself like that. Oops. That's not what I meant to do. Ping like that. Jesus. Oh, come on, y'all. Did you guys finish this lab? Because I'm clearly at a loss for words here. And I'm looking at the solution guide. Everything looks right. Oh, you know what he's got? He has a static. No, that's what I did. I did have that static route. So that's correct too. Everything looks right, man. But there's something that I'm missing. Let's see. How did he apply his... I understand it now. I see what I'm missing, y'all. I see what I'm missing. I'm just waiting for somebody in the chat room to tell me what I was missing, and now I see what's missing. I showed you guys my commands. I showed you guys. I'll run through it again, but I see what I'm missing here. Very important step when you're doing natting, right? I'll kind of go over it. We did the access control list and applied it outbound, right? We applied the ACL outbound. That is correct for sure. ACL. I'm waiting for somebody to let me know what I did. Unless y'all really don't know. But I'll go ahead and tell y'all. We did the Nat Pool. And now I'm going back and thinking about the past natting labs that we did. That used to be one of the first things I used to do. He just didn't tell us to do that. Left that part out. That's kind of like, it's a given. If you do natting, you should know about this part. We created the Nat Pool, obviously. We created a pool of addresses that we were going to get an IP address from, right? Here's our little fake pool. So when he exits out of that interface, he's going to jump in the pool, grab an IP address, and hit the other router and go to that router over there. Right? So we did that part. We created our Nat Pool. We created the ACL. We created the Nat Pool. What else did we do? So here's our Nat Pool. We created the inside source that references the ACL, that ties the ACL to the pool. So the ACL gets tied to the pool and says who can pull from it with that, right? So we did that. That ACL is saying only this guy can pull from it. This guy right here can pull from that pool. right? So when he exits out of that interface, he's just gonna have the same IP address, right? Kevin Hooker got it correct. That's correct, Kevin. I was just waiting for somebody to say it. Shout out to Kevin for that one. I forgot the freaking interfaces. You have to define the inside IP address and the outside NATing address. So in this case, the inside IP address will be here, NATing inside. Then we have to have the outside, which in this case will be the interface serial 000. So shout out to Kevin Hooker for that one. That is what I forgot. So let's do that right now. Go to global config mode, and I think it should work after this. After that, we'll wrap it up. We're right at the hour, so right on time. I was just waiting for somebody to answer that, and it looks like it seems like I always seem to figure this stuff out right at the hour. So we're gonna say interface loopback 1, and we're gonna say IP NAT inside, right? And Kevin did give us that hint there when he said, he did say IP NAT inside source. That was going to create our translation. But then he gave us another hint, I think when he said NVI or something like that. Yes, he did right there. He said cough NVI. And that's where I should have known to do that. So, and notice once I did this IP NAT inside, it creates what's called the NVI, right? What is it called? Nat Virtual Interface. So if I do a show IP interface brief, don't worry, I'll do the outside part. I just want to show y'all this real quick. It creates this interface called the NVI, Nat Virtual Interface. And that is the Nat Virtual Interface. It kind of does the translation. It works in sort of a way, but this is just like an interface that gets created once you create, once you define the inside pool or the inside address. Right now, we got to do the outside, which will be this serial interface. So this guy right here is going to be our natting outside, right? Because this is the inside. Again, that's the inside. And then once we get out here, right, because this is kind of like the border right here, that is the outside. So we're going to use this as our outside part. So go to global config mode, interface serial 000. So shout out to Kevin Hooker for that one, man. IP NAT outside. Right, because we did inside already, right? Yes, we did, right there. Now, let's go ahead and try to ping from here to there. And then after that, we're going to try to ping from here to there. Right? I know it's a lot of goddamn arrows here, but yeah, I know I like to kind of visualize it and do these little annotations and shit so I can look like a real teacher. To ping 10.0.0.2. Change the source interface to loopback 0. Pray to the network gods. Press enter. We got a reply. We'll go to router 3 and we'll see, as we expected, the source interface is 192.168.1.1, destination 10.0.0.2. So here's the source, as expected. It did not get translated, right? It kept his address. Here's the destination, 10.0.0, right? 10.0.0.2. Now we got to do the same thing coming from here, but hope that it gets translated. So go to router 1, change the source interface to loopback 1, pray to the network gods, press enter. We got a reply. And notice we got a log right here. It permitted that address. So that right there lets us know. That's because I put that keyword at the end of the ACL. So we got this log. Now we go to router 3 and we'll see the source change to 172.16.1.1, even though the actual source was this right here. So once he exited out of that interface, let me get rid of all this shit right here. Oh God. All right. So once he exited out of that interface right here, he pulled from this address. He got an address from the Nat Pool, and then hit this address right here. That's why his source address looks like it's 172.16.1.1, and that's how natting works. So I just need to remember when creating static pools, obviously we got to do the inside and outside interfaces. That's one step I need to remember. He just didn't say it in here, and that's what kind of made me forget it. Also, we got to create an ACL, and we also have to create the pool. tie the pool to the ACL. And then what else did we do differently? Apply that ACL to the physical interface. So those are the steps I need to remember. I needed to do more natting, obviously, to remember this stuff. And Kevin, can you take my exams for me? Next time y'all want to follow along, y'all get you a copy of this book so that way, you know, you can do this stuff along with us and don't just watch me. You know, experts agree that we retain only 10% of what we read, but 90% of what we do. I wonder how much percent of it do you actually remember when you're watching, right? So 90% of what you do is, you know, is what you will retain. So that's why I'm always preaching hands-on on this channel. So we're going to move on after we're almost done with this book. I think there's about maybe about 12 more labs left in this book. And then we're going to move on to the CCNP version of this book. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe, share these videos. When we reach to 5,000 subscribers, I'm gonna do a huge giveaway, man. Even though that's not really that big of a milestone, but you know, I really appreciate all my subscribers and all you guys that watch me and kind of learn along with me and stuff like that. So I'm definitely gonna do a giveaway. Like I said, I was in talks with Boston NetGem. They finally reached out to me today. They gave me a bunch of stuff, man, and I'm gonna be giving that stuff away. So once we start moving on to the CCNP topics, I'm gonna be giving away some of that stuff, man. They gave me some of the XSIM stuff. They gave me some of just a whole bunch of stuff, man. I'm giving that shit away, man. So I'm also, like I said, working on an attack plan for the NRC exam as well as the Encore exam. So we're gonna be doing a lot more difficult stuff than this. You think this shit right here was kind of difficult, man? At least it was for me. I'm sitting here. It's just this is how we retain it, by doing this shit over and over and over again, man. We did some natting, maybe I want to say maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, and look how easily I forgot that you got to apply the ACL and create the inside and outside interface. Like, come on, NetworkBruh. But you know, this is how we learn, and I'm showing my faults to the world and stuff like that. Again, make sure y'all hit that like button, share these videos, help me get to a bunch of subscribers, man, specifically 5,000, so that way I can do those giveaways and get that shit away, man, because I can't use all of it. Well, yes, I can, but I'd rather give it away. But for now, comment, like, subscribe to the network.